Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and we are still doing my 31 days of horror movie reviews, and we are still doing the Tremors franchise. This time, Tremors 3! Back to perfection. This is a 2001 film, and it's directed by Brent Maddock. And the plot is we go back to the same town from the first movie, I believe Nevada, and the creatures are still around. Who knew? I know you could sort of call BS on the fact that, wait, how many times in every single movie are we going to blow up what we think are the last of these creatures, only to have another movie where they pop up again? Only thing I will say about that is that, why not? We don't know what exactly these creatures are, where they came from. There could be some of these creatures anywhere and everywhere. This film, we follow Bert as the main character, who him and along with a bunch of other characters are, well, you guessed it, they're trying to kill and stop these creatures once and for all. Now, what I thought of Tremors 3 is I actually enjoyed this movie. I did. Now, I'm not saying that this is better than the first movie, because it's not. I don't suspect that any of these sequels will make it quite up to the level of the first film, partly because of the surprise factor the first one had, but also just these are all direct-to-DVD sequels. The quality actually hasn't been a steep low. It hasn't dropped off that far with direct-to-video, but still, you could tell it is a little cheaper. This one, I think, has more money than the second one. You could tell there might have been some moments here and there of being slow or not a lot going on, but I thought the characters here were more interesting, at least more interesting than the second movie. For example, Michael Gross as Bert Gummer. I think it was genius to make him the main character. Every time he popped up in really any of the movies, but especially the last one, he stole the scenes. He was somebody that you were like, I want to follow that guy. Some redneck guy who is crazy enough and willing enough to kill as much of these fuckers as he can, as he wants to. He's almost becoming a legend in this town. Mindy, who is the little girl, the little blonde girl from the first movie, played by Ariana Richards. Yes, Lex from Jurassic Park. I mentioned it the first time. It's cool to see her older now. I'm not going to say that I thought she was cute because, you know, my girlfriend thought I was a pig for thinking that. I'm like, but she wasn't underage in this particular movie that I'm talking about. She has grown up. She has matured. And her character just, even as an actress, I thought she was good. You would think as a younger actress, child actor, that some of them, the older they get, the worse they are, the shitty they are, and you're like, oh no wonder why their career hasn't really taken off. But her, I don't know why she hasn't been in more movies. I thought she was really good. The scenes where she had to step up and fight off these creatures, like with her and her mom, and having to fight the creatures, because now the creatures have wings. We'll get to that. But still, I liked her. I liked that they brought her back. And the character Jack Sawyer that I was talking about, he's played by Sean Christian. And when we were first introduced to this guy, I instantly thought, douchebag. Douchebag number 5. I was getting ready to just go, I'm going to hate this guy. I'm going to rant and rave about him. And I figured I was going to want him to die. Especially because you get introduced to him running this scam where he has this ride where people, because I guess word is getting out about these creatures being in this particular area, so tourists show up, pay money, and they drive around, and then Jack and some other guy, they stage this scenario where they have smoke going on in the middle of the desert and have all these things to make people think that, oh my god, we're being attacked by these underground creatures. Oh no, what are we going to do? You give them a cheap thrill, and then you just take them back and say, that was a close one. Now tell your friends about us. Let's make more money off of this really intense thing. And so I thought, okay, this guy's going to be a dick. But over time, I got to like him. Over time, he wasn't that much of an a-hole. Especially when he was partnered up with Bert, I got to like him. I found him amusing, and especially because I was not expecting that at all. He won me over, And when you sit down and think about it, if this really did happen, as far-fetched as this plot of this series is, if this did happen, you would have people doing this. Like, what else are you going to do in this town? You're going to make money and scheme and scam as much as you can. So it does make sense. Melvin Plug, the character, the little teenage kid in the first movie that I didn't like, and I was like, he could get killed off. I wouldn't mind that. He shows back up here. He's older. He started his own business, and I saw him, and I thought, okay, can we just kill this guy off? But they didn't. You don't get as much of the giant worm, huge creatures from the first movie. The sequels haven't really focused on them. We've now taken our attention to these little creatures, these smaller creatures, who the first movie, they were there and they had their moments, but this movie, they have wings. So you see them flying around, and I guess they're a lot more dangerous in that aspect. And I was fine with it. It lost some of the scariness, though, only because that's what sold me on the creatures and how different this franchise was the fact that they were underground, was how good the effects looked by the ground breaking up and moving around. I'm just like, this is different, and they can come in anywhere. Don't get me wrong, there were still some scenes where people viciously and violently got killed, and I was all for that, but you get a lot more CGI because they do have wings, and yeah, I don't know how else you're going to maneuver that unless you have more of a budget. So some of the CGI looked a little off, and seeing them have wings now was definitely different, but I connected more with the characters. I had more fun with the characters. I think I had more fun with this movie because of all that I'm willing to give it a pass. I'm willing to say it's okay. Hell, I'm even willing to see what else this franchise has left. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Tremors 3? Do you like it as well? Is it one of your favorites? Or does the franchise go downhill from here? Warn me. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Swimming in beers, I've been through it all, let me trickle a tear. In case you didn't know, I was living sarcastic. A motherfucking monster, something Jurassic. Had to wrap the whole entire bed in plastic. Scared, scared, switchy, fucking with raptors. Killing and a drilling, and I'm sipping on the 4-0. Listen by a whole entire motherfucking torso. Oh, what a rush, sniffing some more blow. Let the bitch bleed, and I'm making a porno. I'ma keep it going a few times before I pass out. Wake up in the morning, realize I'm black guy.